That's football with me, Mark Goldbridge, and we're live, everybody. We're live for 3 o'clock kickoffs on That's Football. Make sure you subscribe, smash a like on the video. We'll be covering all the games, and you will be involved as well. That's how it works on here. So let us know which game you're watching. Spurs, Watford is where I will be starting, but we will be keeping abreast of many games. Chelsea versus Newcastle. I think the Leicester Burnley game is very interesting. I think if Leicester have got aspirations of being a team that qualifies for the Champions League or the Europa League, then these are the games that they need to be winning. 100%. So let me just get this all set up. I haven't looked at this since before the international break. There it is. Okay, how are we all doing? Let's have a look at the live comments. Chelsea, says Luca. And Mark at the wheel says, Mark at the wheel says, I'm just trying to get my timer working. We're up and running, which is great because it's probably a little bit late, that timer, to be honest with you. But there we go. I'm watching Chelsea versus Newcastle, says Anna Rudd. What do you think of the Brexit decision, says Matthew Sims. I was just listening to it there. Very interesting, but this is not a politics show. It's a football show. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. As you can see, we've got 95,500 subscribers, so we are fast approaching that 100k, which I never thought we would do on this channel. So thanks everyone for that, and make sure that you are subscribing, etc., and getting involved and sharing the video as well. So lots and lots to keep abreast of. As I've said, make sure that you do. Is Spurs winning just as important as us winning tomorrow, says Matthew Little. I think Spurs have to win today. They've got to win today, haven't they? Because it's a massive, massive game for Spurs and a massive, massive game for United as well. But I think with Spurs, they've got to be winning this game today. There's no two ways about it. They've got to be beating the likes of Watford. Thanks, Charlie McManus. I'm just going to need to get on my BBC website here just to check the lineups for you as well, which I didn't do. Apologies. I was listening to that Brexit decision. I'll put my hands up. I was listening to it. So, lots of changes for Spurs today. We are a minute in. No goals as yet, but the Spurs lineup is quite interesting. Gazzaniga is in goal because Lloris is injured. Alderweireld, Davinson Sanchez, Vertonghen, Aurier, Sissoko, Winks, Rose, Lucas Moura, Ali and Kane. No place for Son. He's on the bench. And as is Ndombele. They've had a bit of bad luck, haven't they, Spurs? Ryan Sessegnon bought him, pretty much been injured from the start. Lo Celso, again, not involved. So, a couple of signings that just haven't worked. What are your score predictions, says V's. My score prediction for today then, V's, is this. I think Spurs will win 2-0. I think Villa will beat Brighton. I think Bournemouth will beat Norwich. I think Chelsea will beat Newcastle. I think Leicester will beat Burnley. And I think Wolves will beat Southampton. So I think actually all the home teams are going to win. Of course, in the earlier kickoff, Everton did beat West Ham in a game I predicted Everton would win. Not necessarily a great result for United because it knocks United down from 12th to 13th. But if United were to win, they can close the gap on West Ham, who drop points, I suppose. So you can look at it in one of two ways. Thanks for the contribution from Zayn Miasi. Mark, did you ever not consider O'Leary? Good run was a fluke, and giving him the job based on being a legend was like giving Gaza the job at Spurs. There was no logic. Thanks for the contribution, Zayn. I must just say, personal message to you as well. Don't worry, it's not going to be rude. I did have a look into what you said to me about the United Stand. You're not blocked. So what I need to do is see next time on the United Stand show, 8 o'clock tonight if you want. Do as a super chat and I'll click on your name and see whether there's something been set in that, because I don't understand it. Aaron J says, hi Mark, who is worse, Ali or Lingard? Answers on a postcode for that one, everybody, because I think that there's a very good debate to be had there. I don't know. Let me just tell you something as well. Danny Welbeck. Danny isn't well. Beck. Is Danny off Beck because he's pulled his hamstring and he's off the pitch? So not such a good start for Danny Welbeck. He's not doing well. He's doing badly. So unlucky, Danny. You're going off. Simple as that, as I would say. What's going on here? I'm trying to listen to this and it's pissing me about a bit here. There we go. Right. Lingard is worse, says Sahil Shetty. And, well, they're both dropped from England for a reason, says Flynn is at 89. You can't compare the two. Lingard is much older, says Luca. They're both very bad, though. Thanks for the contribution there, Zane, which is a little dancey little face. Typically, when we're live, my system has decided to start pissing about a bit. So, Watford are winning 1-0 the perfect time for me for my radio to go down, which is just absolutely lovely, isn't it? Oh, I despair with this. So thanks everybody who's updating us. But I've lost my fucking radio stream at the moment. Watford have scored. Watford have scored. Watford are leading 1-0. This is a joke. There we go. We've got it working now. Thank God for that. So just at the key moment, we've risked a goal for Watford. Thank you. Wernie's career mode, Mark. It's finally fixed, says Ryan FTW. I will be starting that next week for you. Nolanzen one says, I remember when we debated which was better. And now we're debating which is worse. Yeah, very, very poor. Watford lead at Spurs. And it's Decore who scored, by the way, for Watford. What's happened to Tottenham? Very, 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 very relevant question from Amit. What has happened to Tottenham? They're just not playing for the manager, and you know, I think people who get confused about this, this has happened in football for many years. Pochettino's a good manager, and Spurs have got good players, but it happens all of the time. It happens all the time. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that that they're dropping points, to be honest with you, because I think that I just think that they're a funny little club, and well, they're not a funny club, are they? They're just a funny club, and I think that Spurs, maybe with the situation with Pochettino at the moment, is that it's ran its course, I suppose. London is red. Come on, you Gunners. And Watford, says Zayn Miasi. Yes, I think there'll be a few Arsenal fans happy there. I will change the score in a moment. I'm just having a few problems with my stream, so I'm just trying to sort that out at the moment. Poch gearing up for United, says Joshua Kane. I mean, I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take him at United, to be honest with you. Zane. Give me some of that oil money, they say. Mark, do you think it's a good idea for Spurs to do an Amazon documentary while they're on a decline? I didn't even know they were. From Kingy Cairo via. I didn't actually know that they were, so that's quite interesting that they're doing that, because it will make for very good watching, I suppose. Sorry about this. I'm having a few problems with it breaking up here. For fuck's sake. I'd had all this set up before we went live. They are doing it for this season, 1920. They're doing an Amazon documentary. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious for Spurs, that is. Why you would do that, I don't know. But they're going to do it, apparently, which I find funny. South Paul of Sport says, the situation shows with Pochettino that in modern football, the days of a manager being at a club for 10 plus years are over. Only been at a club for 5 years already, and it's run its course. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think you're absolutely right. If I'm honest with you, I think you're right. John Richardson says, hi Mark, saw going for Goldbridge today, could not stop laughing at the Chipper stories. Also, when is United coming to Dublin? Hopefully next sort of March time, to be honest with you. Yeah. Mark, why don't you get King Eric to kung fu the Glazers back to the States, says Zane Massey. I don't think he would want to do that, to be honest. I think he's happy with what's going on at United. Like many United ex-greats seem to be. We need Spurs to win, says Ibrahim Q. Does anybody know if Mark is doing a lot watch along for the City game? I know. And I'm not, because I'm off down the pub after this, so I won't be. Change the score, Mark says, yeah, whatever. Apparently you're freezing on the screen, which is great. Just hit refresh. I'm having a few problems. It's really pissing me off, to be honest. Which Liverpool player would you take for free, says Goldbridge Fan TV? I think that, if I'm honest with you, the Liverpool player that I would like to take for free would probably be Fabinho, because I think United need that sort of CDM player. It is 1-0. Yeah, I'm just going to change the score, actually. I'm trying to multitask whilst also being live, because I'd ran a load of stuff and had it all set up, and then typically you go live and you start to get a few problems, but you know, we're not going to let it bother us, are we? Just relax, enjoy it. Yellow card for Alderweireld there. Watford on the and having another counter attack. They're a bloody mess. They're a bloody mess, the Spurs. Have we got it on? Oh, come on. With this stream will settle down and be a good stream in a minute. I'm convinced by it, but it's never like this on the United stand, is it? It's always a lot better on the United stand. Apologies. Right, first things first, let's get the score changed on this game, but then we can start having a look at other games. If anyone's watching any other games, please do get in the live comments and let people know. I'm sure people are going to be very interested. I'm certainly interested. There we go. There we go. Right, get back on live comments. Where are you? There we go. Thanks for the contributions, Amy Massey. Don't go mad. I know it's the weekend, but there's no need to be silly. Who's worse, United or Spurs, says Joel Morris? Well, I mean, again, I think at the moment you've probably got a very good debate to say that Spurs are worse than us. United obviously are worse, says JT Music. I don't agree. I don't agree, to be honest with you. I think United is not necessarily worse than Spurs at the moment. Hi Mark, would you take Delafeu in January? I mean, look, realistically, we shouldn't be taking Delafeu at United. Let's be honest. But having said that, it's. You can't moan, you can't say no really, because the situation is such that we are so bad that why would we not take a player like that? I don't watch 442 and Xavi, to be honest with you. I do if people say I'm on it. I find it funny then. But I just don't really have time, if I'm honest with you. So, no. Just listening to John Motson there. And he's saying that Harry Kane hasn't scored a headed goal in over a year. No wonder, okay. Delafeu would be your best technically gifted attacker. Says a lot, to be fair, says Tyron T. I think you're right, Tyron. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. I think that United currently lack a lot of quality, and quality that a player such as Delafeu would improve United. So yeah, I'm not going to argue with you on that one. I don't think, but. Mark, what a great Saturday. Spurs are losing and I've got a hot date tonight, says Zane Massey. Well, don't spend all your money on the live comments here then. Spend some money on her. Not in that way. You should never have to pay for it. Pritishwar Prasad says, Mark, I think Spurs are worse than us right now. I just joined. How did they score? Also, I don't agree with white flag versus Liverpool. Thoughts? No, I don't agree with the white flag against Liverpool. Basically, I think it was Delafeu got the assist, ball into the box, and Decore got there ahead of the Spurs defenders because I think they were too preoccupied with Delafeu, but they are 1-0 down and we've only had about 18 minutes, so definitely not a good start for Spurs. Apparently Brexit is off again, says Gold Peace Prosperity. Yes, it has been voted down. It has been voted down. I was listening to that just before I came on air. If you're interested in that sort of thing, then fair play. But it has been voted down. But Boris has said that he will be still trying to leave. So we'll see what happens with that. Hi Mark, why is it that fans can see what's wrong at United but the club can't seem? It's a bit suspicious, says Charlie Elsmore. Exactly, I'd agree with you on that. Harry Kane's in. Ooh. Right, let's pull that away from there. I want to just get everything set up so I can chat with the live comments and also be updated with what's going on around the grounds as well. Watford is the only goal in the Premier League kickoffs at the moment. I can tell you that in the Leicester game, it's very, very open between them and Burnley, which is the game I low-key will admit to you all now. I'm in the house now. I can focus on you lot. I can low-key say to you lot that I was really tempted to do the Leicester game as a watch-along, to be honest with you. But actually, it looks like we picked the better game. Would I take Decore at United, says Ryan Wilson? I like him. I do like him, but I don't think he's good enough for what I would want at United, to be honest with you. Brighton are 1-0 up, says John Allen. That's put a cat amongst the pigeons, and the cat's called Jesse the Cat. And it's not Postman Pat's cat. It's a Brighton cat, and it's a goal to Brighton. And I think that's a very interesting goal in that game, because Villa are at home, and Villa had a very good result against Norwich, and Brighton, I predict Brighton to go down. But if Brighton win today, they're above Manchester United already. United are currently in 15th place, can I just tell you. I don't know how we've dropped another 2 spots. I'm a little confused by that. I think Wolves must be draw. Are Wolves winning? I think Wolves are winning as well then. We're 15th at the moment. Maybe Wolves were ahead of us already. But we are in 15th place, United. I don't see how Villa would be ahead of us. Because they're not drawing. We're not in 15th place at the moment. We're not in 15th at the moment. Because Villa are losing. So, yeah, we're not in 15th. We're in 14th. Start getting it right. Herrera saying that United players didn't believe that they could beat PSG last season. What a crap mentality, says Andrew Barnes. Haven't seen those quotes. We'll certainly discuss that tonight. Mark, is it too naive with his predictions? Anything can happen in football. Lots of upsets, says Aman. Mark is too naive with his predictions. Anything can happen in football. Lots of upsets. Yeah, but surely Adam Webster scores for Brighton, by the way. Aman, surely predictions in their very nature are naive because we don't have a definitive answer. So to predict something when you don't know the outcome is by definition naive. Anybody who bets on scores and is naive because there's no guarantee that you're going to win your money. Nice Boss shirt, says, and I love this top. So it does say Boss on it. I love it. I got it from John Lewis a couple of weeks ago. Very expensive, but treated myself. Mark, Sir Alex Ferguson was at Carrington today, says Luca. They're rolling everything out at the moment, aren't they, at United? They really, really are. Let me just say, I'm enjoying doing this. So if you enjoy the show, please do smash a like. But most importantly, please do subscribe if you are new. Bottom right-hand corner. And if you have subscribed, please share the video. You can share it under the bottom of the screen. You can share it on Facebook and Twitter because that just brings more new people in, which is great. And I'm just going to tell you, we are on currently 95,536. So we're 450 away from 96,000. And we want to get to 100,000 subscribers. That would be brilliant for the Chancellor. Afternoon, Mark. Liverpool supporter here, but I like your show. This is Michael Dunn. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you're very relaxed with the way things are going at the moment. But yeah, just to talk about the flippant nature of football, because I've got the BBC score updater on there, and it comes up with like little tidbits. And Garth Crooks, not the country and western singer, the ex-Spurs player who talks out of his arse, he's basically saying that the situation at Tottenham's a joke. Their stadium is the best in the world, their training ground is the best in the world, and I cannot see what more Daniel Levy can do. Pochettino has got to be quite clear to his players and ask who he wants to win. If you don't, we are not even a third through the season. You go to Brighton and lose 3-0 with those players. It's a joke. But I sort of would defend Pochettino here. Gold Piece Prosperity says, Mark, consider a philosophy channel on naivety. Well, I think Garth Crooks is naive because chance for Spurs. Nobody on the end of a cross from Danny Rose. But the point is that with the situation with Pochettino, this has been coming for a long time. Even last season, they got to a Champions League final with ridiculously late goals against Ajax, and they went through on away goals. In January, when they had the injury crisis, they were winning so many games, thanks to the contribution to Dipanshu Kumar. They were winning so many games with late goals. Spurs' record over the last year isn't that good. And I think what the problem Spurs have is, I don't think Pochettino is the best coach in Europe. I don't think he's the third best coach in the Premier League. I think we know who the best two are. It's Klopp and Pep, and I don't think Pochettino is the third best in the world in the Premier League. I think that he's a manager that does well, but I think ultimately there's a ceiling with Pochettino, and I think this squad, he's been very naive. Naive seems to be the word of the day. Pochettino has been naive with Spurs because those players have been there a long time. There's some stat out there that Spurs, if you compare their squad to everybody else's over the last 3 or 4 years, they've got the most players. They've still got a lot of the players they had 3 or 4 years ago. So the rotation of players, the keeping it fresh, the stagnation has set in. I thought they bought well in the summer. I thought Lo Celso, Ryan Sessegnon, and Dembele, they were good signings. I think they bought somebody from Leeds as well, who they may have loaned back. I don't know. But Spurs are in a situation now where I've seen it time and time again. It feels like the relationship is coming to an end. And it always comes to an end. You look at Wenger at Arsenal, the invincible manager, the double winning manager, the Premier League title winning manager. And he outstayed his welcome because people lived off that past. But to an outsider, every person who's watching United as an Arsenal fan or a Chelsea fan would say, I can see Solskjaer's not good enough. Well, many United fans feel that way as well. But I can look at Spurs and can see pragmatically, because I don't really have a problem with Spurs, and there's a shock of a goal at Leicester. Burnley have gone 1-0 up, and it's a classic Chris Wood goal, and that's big. We'll talk about that in a moment. But yes, with Pochettino, I look at it from an outsider position, and I think, well, I just don't see him being successful. I don't see him being successful. So I think that it's not now. I think I've said this many times. I've said it with Solskjaer. I've said it with Mourinho. I've said it with Paul Lambert to Villa fans a couple of years ago. When it starts to go wrong, tell me a situation when it starts to go right for a manager. There's not many managers who turn it around when it starts to go wrong. And I think it's starting to go wrong with Pochettino. And people are expecting a turnaround. But I look at Spurs. I look at Dele Alli. I look at Eriksen. And I see players that are meh. They're not engaged. They need a change as much as Pochettino does. So I don't think it's going to end well, to be honest with you. It's still 1-0. So Gold, Peace, Prosperity, thanks for the contribution. Really enjoying the show now. We've got the rhythm going, which is what we wanted. So thanks everyone who's getting involved. Mark, have your t-shirts sold out yet? Says Zayn Miasi. They won't sell out. We've got a very good print supplier, so they won't sell out, but they're doing quite well. Pick a Pixel says Wolves goal disallowed. Thanks for the update, mate. I'm just going to be nosy and look at your channel because I can tell it's a significant channel because it's got a greyed out area. So let's have a look at the Pick a Pixel channel before we talk about Leicester. It's got 354,000 subscribers. Well done, Pick a Pixel. Let's have a look what you do. Playing Rocket League, all sorts of stuff. 50 new golden pumpkins in Rocket League. Looks like... Yeah, I like your stuff, mate. I like your stuff. Well, there's your shout out. Well done. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you check out that channel. It's not Wolves 1-0. It's been disallowed. But let's talk about Leicester. Oh, I'll tell you what, Leicester. This is a goal from Chris Wood. Despite all their possession, Leicester have gone down. They've not been clinical, and they're 1-0 down. Looping cross in, and he's put it into the back of the net. Typical long ball Burnley shit goal, but I want Leicester to win. I want Leicester to win. I do want Leicester to win, but if they don't win, it's down to themselves. And I've said this about Leicester. They played well against United, they lost 1-0. They played well against Leicester, they lost Liverpool, they lost 2-1. They beat Spurs. Most people are doing that. But if Leicester want to be in the top 4 race or the top 6 race, you got to beat your Burnleys. You got to beat your Newcastles. And that's the test today. Anarud says, what's your top 4 predictions? For me, My top 4 predictions are Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, and at this moment in time, probably Chelsea. That in that order as well. But I think that consistency below Liverpool and Man City, and I think Man City will struggle with consistency, but they'll have enough consistency to be second. Liverpool look ominously consistent. Man City look ominously better than everybody else other than Liverpool. Arsenal, I think, have got the best squad, and they will score goals. And Raul Jimenez handled in the build up to the goal. That's why his goal was disallowed for Wolves. Chelsea would be favourites for 4th place at the moment. Spurs look a mess. United look a mess. Leicester look like they're not going to be consistent enough. So Chelsea, as long as they keep winning games, because I think Chelsea's problem is going to be they don't have a very deep squad. They've got a lot of games, and a couple of injuries could really could cause a problem for them. I'm enjoying this now. I'm enjoying it. I hope you are as well. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. And please share it if you are already subscribed. Zayn Miasi is the I'm not going to read that out, Billy. Sunderland are losing. But yeah, on Pochettino, I've got to be honest with you. I say it on the United Stand all the time. I think when a manager starts to do consistently badly, it's very rare that they turn it around. We've got another grey Blocks. It's Alvin Blocks. Spurs and United, a championship derby next season, says Alvin Blocks. Arsenal the best of the rest, says Tyrant T. Yes, I think Arsenal are going to finish 3rd at the moment. As things stand, that would be my prediction. They seem to be the best of the rest. Moshad Oseni says, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I love this show. Everybody's welcome on here. Just to let you know, FIFA. I've been playing a lot of FIFA Ultimate Team this week, actually. I just wasn't streaming it because I was playing at silly times. But I've won my last 8 games in a row, and I'm back in Division 6. I'm doing really well on FIFA at the moment, so I will start playing it again. But Career Mode will start on Monday, because Career Mode has been fixed, and we need to do that. So we definitely need to do that. I'm doing all right, thank you. Everybody, if you've not watched Going for Goldbridge, it's on the Mark Goldbridge channel. Had a difficult week last week, so I addressed that, and a little bit of a chat about mental health and things like that. So if it's ever anything that's bothered you, I would say just give it a watch. Lamar Luan says that Chelsea are better than Arsenal. I don't know when that game is. I think it's coming up soon, isn't it? Big fan from Scotland, says Lyle Wars. Do you think Abraham will keep scoring consistently, says Onham? I do. I think Tammy Abraham reminds me of Lukaku. He's a better player than Lukaku, but I don't think Lukaku is a brilliant player. Kane. Nothing comes out. But I do think that Tammy Abraham is maybe he's not going to be the next Van Nistelrooy or the next Ian Wright or the next Thierry Henry or the next Aubameyang. Maybe he's not that good, and I get a lot of Villa fans saying that to me. He isn't actually that good, but if you give him chances, he'll score. I think he's decent. I just don't think he's going to be world class. But he will get chances in that Chelsea team, so he will keep scoring goals. I think he's going to do fine. Let me just say that Douglas, the Dugout Football Channel, which is Douglas, who we do has been on this channel before for a long time. Welcome, Douglas. Mora's just coming away here. Harry Vanks, nothing comes of that. What did you make of El Clasico being postponed, says the Dugout Football Channel? I was really looking forward to that. So next Saturday, lunchtime, midday kickoff, I think, was going to be Barcelona against Real Madrid. We were going to do a watch-along on this channel. I was looking forward to it. It's been postponed because of trouble in Barcelona, so they postponed it until just before Christmas, which is a bit of a shame, but ultimately, public safety's got to come first. That's the bottom line, isn't it? It's not a very interesting line, but there we go. So, 35 minutes gone. Spurs still losing at home to Watford. And if they lose today, would he be sacked? That's an interesting question. We've got nearly 3,000 people watching, which is absolutely fantastic. I hope that you are all enjoying the show. Make sure you subscribe and share the video. We said this season that we would do one of these every single week for the Premier League. And we've chosen the 3 o'clocks today because I didn't fancy Everton against West Ham. I don't fancy Man City against Palace. Obviously, United-Liverpool's the big game, but we do that on the United stand. So I just fancied this game today. And I think that, you know, with all the other games going on, it makes it interesting as well. But the interesting thing is that Watford are losing as well, which I think is just very, very surprising. But yeah, it's Leicester have got to start. I mean, let me just have a look at. Let me just go through round the grounds a little bit. Let me just show you. Leicester are losing 1-0 to Burnley, but when you look at the possession, 76% possession to Leicester. 6 shots to Burnley's 4, but they've only had 1 shot on target to Burnley's 2. So Burnley have had 24% possession, but have had more shots on goal than Leicester. I mean, that tells you the story of that game. Just to run through Leicester's team, by the way, Maddison's playing in a front 3 with Barnes and Vardy again, with Perez. Oh, no, he's not actually, because Perez is playing. So it'll be Perez, Barnes and Vardy, Tielemans, Maddison and Ndidi, the midfield 3. But they should be beating Burnley. But Burnley are like a bloody raspberry seed in your tooth. You can't bloody get rid of it. It's annoying. It's very annoying. But it remains 1-0 in the Leicester game. It remains 1-0 in the Watford game at Spurs. And we've had a red card for Brighton. This is good news for Villa. UTV, up the Villa. I support Villa. I don't support Villa. Don't make that into a bloody meme. I don't support Villa. I just live in Solihull, which is near Birmingham, and so I keep an eye on Solihull Moors, who are a non-league club, and I know a lot of Villa fans, so I always want Villa to do well. To be fair, plus traditionally they're a big club. But we've had a red card for Aaron Moy, who is a Brighton player. 2 yellow cards in 5 minutes. Short evening for Aaron Moy, says Philip Thomas. I was going to say, I don't know whether it was a straight red, but thanks, Philip, for keeping us updated with that. Feel free to keep us updates in the live comments. We will read them out. You're actually such a sound and genuine bloke. Keep your head up, mate, says Nathan Tomlinson. Thanks, pal. I think anybody who meets me knows that. I am a nice guy. I know it's very easy to say that. There's some right shits who would do this sort of thing and they pretend to be nice and they're not, but I actually am. Believe it if you want. Hull City are beating QPR, says Gamer Boy Master. And anybody doing foot icon swaps, says MTech's YouTube. I was going to do the league this week because I have qualified for it, but I don't know whether I've entered. Why don't I support Birmingham, says Hill Shetty. I know Birmingham fans, but I just find Birmingham, even when I didn't live in Birmingham, I just found Birmingham City really boring. I don't do fantasy Premier League, Alvin Blocks. I used to. I don't do it anymore because I just don't have time. I do like it though. Brighton are 2-0 up at Villa Park. No. It's alright, I've got radio in my ear and it's John Motson and he's just said that Brighton are 2-0 up and it's Moy with the goal. And as soon as he said it, I thought he's messed up there and he's now corrected himself. Moy is not 2-0 to Brighton, it's 1-0 to Brighton and Moy has not got the second goal. He's got a second yellow card and been sent off. So there we go. Penalty. Delafu's just gone down. Should have been a penalty. Well, there's no VAR, I don't think. I mean, look. It's a penalty on Delafu. Definitely a penalty, but not been given. And yet again, VAR, absolute shite. It's disgusting. Yeah, they're just sticking up for the man in the middle again. It's just a waste of time. It's a bloody waste of time. I've just tweeted it out there. It's a penalty on Delafu. We have VAR. I hate VAR. I don't want VAR. I would much rather that VAR was not part of the discussion. But VAR was voted in. It's a democratic thing. They brought it in. You have to use it. It's a penalty on Deulofeu. The referee on the pitch is a mug and he doesn't give it. But VAR is there to go, vibrate his arm, vibrate his arse, whatever. You've got it wrong. You need to give a penalty. And they don't. They back the Premier League have basically said, on penalties, we will back whatever the referee makes. But that's the whole... Everybody knows referees make decisions that are wrong. So VAR should step in and go, you've got that wrong. Spurs can probably equalise now. They'll probably equalise now at some point. But 2-0 and that game's gone. It's not right, is it? It's not right. And I've had it. I've absolutely had it with VAR. It really does get on my nerves. And I'm beyond even moaning about it that much, although I am moaning, because week in, week out, this happens. You can't... As fans, all we want is consistency. Remove VAR and leave us with what we've had all our lives, which is inconsistent refereeing that we can moan about on a Monday morning. Or bring VAR in, and when they get the decision wrong, like they have done with Deulofeu, tell them they got it wrong and give a penalty. But don't leave us in this halfway house of, oh, that looks like a penalty. The TV's telling me it's a penalty. But then VAR inexplicably doesn't rule it out, rule the referee and say that should be a penalty. So we're stuck in the same world that we are. It just shouldn't exist, like Luke Edwards says. It shouldn't exist. It should be like the Tooth Fairy. Get rid of it. So unfair, says Walter Castellino. I just find it absolutely rubbish, really, to be honest with you. Charlie McManus is saying that we've got a goal for Wolves, so they have got the ball in the back of the net now. I felt that was always going to be a difficult game for Southampton, to be honest with you. But Newcastle doing well against Chelsea. I mean, let's not forget, Chelsea did drop points at home to Sheffield United. So we've gone up to 95,600 subscribers. It does change every 100. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. And if you have subscribed, please do share the video with the share button, obviously. You can share it on Facebook, on Twitter. Really enjoying this. We did it a couple of weeks ago as well for Leicester Liverpool, the 3 o'clock games. Lots going on in the live comments. Lots of people watching different games. Lots of controversy as well. We've had VAR not doing its job against between Spurs and Watford. It should be 2-0 to Watford if they'd scored the hypothetical penalty that they've not been given. And Burnley beating Leicester 1-0, which I think is a significant score for Leicester if they want to get in the top 4. You can't be losing to Burnley at home. Maybe they're not ready to be in the top 4, which is good for United, isn't it? Because if we can start to win, maybe we can get up to 5th or 6th. And also, Wolves have just gone 1-0 up against Southampton. Villa have equalised as well. UTV, everybody, UTV. And I'm not shouting out Ulster Television, which is the ITV version in Northern Ireland. I'm shouting out the Villa. Southpaw Loves Sport says Premier League and VAR should take a cue from Rugby Union. They televise the conversation between refs and TMO and show what is going on. Makes it far more transparent. But you know what, Southpaw Loves Sports? The problem with this VAR is there is no conversation going on. The referee says no penalty. VAR look at it and go, it's a penalty. Don't tell him. We're not allowed to tell him. That's it. Conor Hourihane has scored for Villa. Raul Jimenez, who did have a goal disallowed for handling the ball, has now scored for Wolves. So 1-1 Brighton and Villa. 1-0 to Wolves over Southampton. And obviously 0-0 Chelsea Newcastle at the moment. And we are fast approaching half-time. Let me just tell you what else is going on. Don't know why I'm getting that. I don't want to look at that. Celtic are beating Ross County 1-0. What a surprise. In the Championship, anything significant going on there? A lot of 0-0s, actually. A lot of 0-0s. Anybody interested in the League 2? Northampton are beating Salford City 1-0. And in the FA Cup, I think Solihull Mars are playing in the FA Cup today, actually. But they're not updated the scores on there. So Villa. Oh! Villa's goal has been ruled out because of VAR. So Amazing. It's not one. It's not up the Villa. It's losing Villa. Disallowed goal at Wolves as well. Bloody hell. So, oh, it's all going off. It's all going off here. I think we've got a goal coming in from Leicester. Villa have... Southampton have had another goal ruled out. It's 0-0. Raul Jimenez again offside with VAR, and handball and an offside goal, which they'd be 2-0 up without VAR. And Villa, we've got a Leicester goal coming in from Vardy, which is good news if you're a Leicester fan. DTV down the Villa, says Alvin Blocks. And Villa's goal has been disallowed as well through VAR. So we've had 2 goals come in and go out. VAR is making a bloody mockery of football, isn't it? Unbelievable. I just don't like VAR, and I think this is a fine example of what the problem is. You've got a penalty to Watford, not given by the referee, but clearly on TV it's a penalty, which means VAR has seen it and not given it. And then you've got goals for Villa and goals for Wolves that are given, and then they check it and they don't, and they rule it out. It's total hypocrisy that there's a penalty for Watford, the TV shows it, but VAR says, oh no, we're not doing anything about it. But then Villa and Wolves score goals, and VAR goes, no, you're not having those. You're not having those goals. And it's the inconsistency of it. So VAR basically, whilst the rest of Europe and the World Cup and the Women's World Cup have used it in the way that we've become used to, VAR in the Premier League basically is for goals to check if they're offside. We are not using it for fouls. We are not using it for penalty decisions. We are basically just doing it for offside. And to be honest with you, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We are the consumer. We spend a lot of money on football, and this is not good enough. It is 1-0 to Leicester. I'm holding back. Leicester are back level with a goal from Vardy right before half-time. But I'm sure that Wolves will break the deadlock at some point, and I'm sure that Villa will get a goal back at some point because they are against 10 men. But the inconsistency... It is 1-1 again. Jersey Boys just said it's 1-1 again. Villa have scored this time, but we have to wait a few seconds because every goal is being checked by VAR, and there might have been a bloody chicken on the pitch that was offside with a Villa flag. Who knows? I don't know. But it's useless, says Luca. It really is. But it looks like Villa have got an equaliser there this time. UTV up the Villa. So it's looking like it's 1-1, and it's Grealish this time. Alvin Blocks has just confirmed it. So we've had a few. We've had goals. We've had no goals. We've had goals again. We've had a penalty for Watford not given, but they do lead 1-0. Red card at Brighton for Brighton as well. Oh, it's all going on. I need a little. We need half time. We need half time. It's 2-1 to Villa. It's now 2-1 to Villa. So they've had 3 goals in the last 5 minutes. One's been disallowed by VAR, but they've gone and had 2. Oh, it's all going on. Zayn Mayasi says that Putin's hacked into the VAR system and is mucking up the matches. Well, Villa are 2-1 up now, but let's make sure that they could have another 5-1. They could have another 5-1, says Philip Thomas. VAR is so frustrating and pointless, says the Dugout Football Channel. I think we spend too long talking about VAR. Like, we never had it before, and now we've got it, and it's changed the face of football, and we're all going to have to get used to it. But it's annoying. It is annoying. It's 0-0 between Chelsea and Newcastle at half time. It's not 2-1 to Villa, by the way. I don't know whether Forest are going up Lloyd Webster. Yeah, I'm not going to believe people in the live comments anymore. A lot of people said it was 2-1. It's fake scores. So you've ruined it for everybody because I actually will just wait till I hear it in here now rather than going with you lot. So there you go. But what I will do is I'm just going to go back through the previous comments, and anybody who said Villa 2-1, I can just delete them, which is great. There we go. Canal, bye. Get in the canal. You're gone. Iron, you're gone as well. There was 3 people who did it very early on, and they're gone. Pochettino wants to come to United. I'm telling you, he's saying playing v Fergie was an honour. But why would Manchester United take Pochettino at United when he's doing such a bad job at Spurs? I mean, are people seriously saying that Pochettino is trying to get himself sacked to get a job? That would be ridiculous. Really, really ridiculous. Well, that's half time in this game. Very, very, very interesting. It's 1-0 at half-time between Spurs and Watford. Watford definitely should have had a penalty. But what's going on? What's going on? And Burnley, well, I mean, they're level. Leicester have got a goal back. And I think this is a very, very interesting game for Leicester today. They've got back level. They've got to win these sort of games. If Leicester want to get top 4 or top 6, you have got to. They've got to win these sort of games. So we're just getting in the half times, but yeah, effectively VAR is the one. But I don't want to dwell on that for too long at the moment because we'll just go through the grounds. Chelsea 0-0 with Newcastle. Bournemouth and Norwich has had no mention at all because it's a crap, boring game, isn't it? Villa and Brighton 1-1. They did have a goal disallowed, and then they scored a goal, and it was Grealish. Wolves Southampton. You've got to feel for Wolves. Jimenez has scored 2 goals, and both of them have been disallowed. So it remains 0-0 in that game. Southampton living on a prayer, really. They must like Bon Jovi. Leicester 1-1. Burnley had gone ahead, but it is 1-1 now. Villa 1-1, Brighton down to 10 men, but we're 1-0 up. It's now 1-1. And as we know, Spurs losing 1-0 to Watford. I mean, the fact it's bad enough losing to Watford. The most embarrassing thing would not be scoring against Watford. They are awful at the back, and I think their manager that's come in, is it Flores, has improved them, but defensively they're terrible. They're really bad. So they've got to improve. Bomberman 6001, you're hilarious. Fuck off. Like, it's not funny, and you're gone. I hate VAR. It's ruining football, says Dylan Wright. Look, I just think. I think when you score a goal now, you instantly look for you always used to look at the linesman, but it's a 2-second thing. The goal goes in, the player looks themselves, the linesman's flags down, it's a goal, let's get back to the halfway line after a cuddle. Nowadays, you're off. You either go full throttle and you celebrate a goal and leave yourself open to the disappointment, or you sort of go, it looks like a goal. Let's wait for VAR. It is a goal, So you miss out on the elation. I think you've always got to go for it. So you celebrate the goal, but then you leave yourself open for these memes, don't you? That happened like with Man City Spurs in August. So every goal, you're just not so sure whether it's a goal these days, and that's where VAR is making an impact. Where it's not doing its job is the penalty. There's been so many penalties this season. I've seen United not be given penalties. I've seen Liverpool. I've seen City. And we've seen Watford today. Definite penalty on Delafeu. If they score that penalty, they're 2-0 up. Spurs aren't coming back. Big 3 points for Watford. Horrible loss for Spurs. But it's over at 2-0. Spurs are not playing well enough. Referee doesn't give the penalty. Probably doesn't see it's a penalty. TV shows it's a penalty. VAR does nothing. That is inexcusable. That is absolutely inexcusable. Thierry Mienrich says, Jose and Keane in the studio tomorrow. Get ready. Yeah, we'll be live United Stand as well from 3:30 with the watch along. Please do subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get up to 96,000 subscribers today. It's going to be a bit of a big ask, but if King Kardashian can do it, then so can we. Bottom right hand corner, click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed, you can still click something, click the share button, share it on Twitter and Facebook. You're all welcome. Really enjoying this, actually. It's nice having so many games going on, and again, every time we do it, there's always a big talking point. So the VAR at the moment, very, very interesting to see. Are there any teams from the Championship you'd like to see in the Premier League, says Alex Mayhook? For me, I would love to get rid of Brighton, Burnley and Bournemouth. Not because they begin with B. You know, I like the letter B. I've got nothing against it. But they're all small clubs. They're all shitty small clubs with shitty small grounds. I want the Premier League to be the best league in the world. And to do that, I want it to have the traditionally big clubs that have got big fan bases. So Leeds would be back for me. We've got Villa back this year. I'd like to see Sheffield Wednesday back. I mean, I know we've got Sheffield United, but Sheffield Wednesday are a big club. And obviously, look, I've got family members who support Forest. I'm from Nottingham, so I would like Forest to get back up. They're not a massive. Well, they've won the European Cup twice, which is more than Man City or Arsenal, but they've got a tradition, I suppose, and they have got a big fan base. But I would like them to be back. But yeah, definitely Leeds and Sheffield Wednesday. They're just big clubs that I grew up with. Newcastle are a dog waiting for Chelsea to get 3 or 4, says Pricey. And Jordan Such says, how can anyone say Spurs and United won't be fighting relegation with the crap they have both lost to this season? I don't see Spurs being in a relegation battle, but you can't lose at home to Watford and not be, I suppose. I don't know what's going on with Spurs. I mean, somebody in the live comments actually said Pochettino's trying to get the sack. I can't imagine he is. I can't imagine that scenario. I just can't imagine that he is. But if he is, well, if he isn't, what's going wrong? I mean, I just think, as I said in the first half, there's stagnation there with Pochettino and that squad, and they've come to the end of the road, and it will end in Pochettino leaving Spurs. So when that happens, I don't know. But this is a game that Spurs needed to win. You know, they've got a Champions League game coming up, haven't they? Let's have a look at the... if you look at Spurs' next few fixtures, they would have looked at this one. I mean, we know United's fixtures like the back of our hands, but their form's terrible. They've got good players. They've brought new players in, obviously, and it doesn't seem to be working that well. But Red Star Belgrade on Tuesday night. Then they've got Liverpool away next Sunday. That is not a game that Spurs want because they won't win that. And then they've got Everton away after that. Then they've got Sheffield United at home. So it's not good for Spurs. You could see them losing their next 2, and that would probably, if they lose today, that would put Spurs, how many Spurs points got? 11 points. You know, if they lose their next 3, including Watford today, I could see Spurs being in the relegation zone. So they've got to get something out of today. Otherwise, I can see them losing to Liverpool and losing to Everton. So it is a struggle for them at the moment. Manchester United at the moment in the Premier League, I don't know what the updated table looks like, but I can probably get it for you. We're in 15th. 15th at the moment. They can't go any lower unless Newcastle win. So, yeah. But they could go up to 14th if Villa... Yeah, it can change around. But at the moment, United are in 15th place. Yabba dabba do. 1 point off the relegation zone. Hey Mark, just popping in. How's the game going? Says Even Casey. Well, you know what? Watford deservedly winning. Watford giving as good as they've got. Watford should have had a penalty. VAR being VAR again. Absolutely inept. I can see Spurs and United losing to Liverpool, says Dritan. I think Spurs will lose to Liverpool next week at Anfield, definitely. And I think tomorrow United will get a draw. As Pistol just said, he's going for a 1-1 draw. I don't want Mandzukic at United. I think he's absolutely shit. So, Yeah, that's just my personal opinion. I know that will upset some people. He's 34 in May. We're meant to be building for the future. It makes me mad. I don't want to talk about United till 8 o'clock when I've had a couple of beers, but I just hate the hypocrisy at United. With every statement, you can find one in the last 4 months where they've totally and utterly said the opposite. So if we sign Mandzukic, but we're getting rid of Lukaku and Sanchez because we want to build something for the future, yet we're buying a mercenary who's 34 in May, makes no bloody sense. This is a guy who's got offers from like Qatar, and he's coming to United, and he's 34 in May. And he's shit. No thanks. Mark, why is Ollie being paid the same as Klopp? Says Amy Massey. I didn't know he was. Should we do a bit of a quiz? A half-time quiz here? Because I'm on the BBC website and I don't know whether I can do it or not, but let's have a look. We might be able to do this. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of a Man United versus Liverpool quiz here. Let's do it collectively. Let's get a figure to kick things off. What number does Liverpool forward Roberto Firmino wear? He's number 9, isn't he? I think he's number 9. Get in the live comments. What shirt number does Firmino wear? I reckon he's number 9. He's number 9. I'm not going to wait for you. It's obvious. Correct. I want to see what age level they're aiming this quiz at. Firmino wears the number 9 shirt, but what was the number of goals across last year's 2 Premier League meetings between these teams? Higher or lower than that? Oh, it's definitely lower than that. Easy, yeah. Is the number of Premier League games that Manchester United have won so far this season higher or lower than 4? Well, we've got 9 points, so it's lower. Easy. This is aimed at kids. Is the number of goals that Steven Gerrard scored in games against Manchester United in his career higher or lower than 2? Definitely higher. Yeah, I've got that right. Is that in the past 5 years of this fixture, was the number of Manchester United goal scorers higher or lower than 9? In the last 5 years? No, it's lower. We've not scored many. Oh, it was higher. Oh my God. So, Man United have had 10 different goal scorers in this fixture. Rashford, Zlatan and Eric Bailly, who scored an own goal at Old Trafford in 2018. That's surprising. Is the number of league titles won by Liverpool higher or lower than 10? League titles, it's higher. Premier League titles, it's 0. There we go. Is the amount of millions Manchester United spent on midfielder Fred higher or lower than 18? You can triple that. It's 52. So I've got 6 out of 7. I should have got 7 out of 7. That was a bloody easy quiz. But there we go. What kind of quiz is this? Oh, it's just something on the BBC website. I think it's aimed at people who are like 10. But I still got 6 out of 7. There we go. Right, chuck me some other questions. Do I think Spurs are going to turn this around in the second half? I do. I do. I think, and there aren't many Watford fans out there, but I think we're going to have a situation where Watford are going to be moaning about VAR, unfortunately, and that's the sad thing when it messes up like that. It can mess up a person's or a team's day or a fan base's day. So I do think Spurs will get back in the second half. Whether that's justice or not, I'll leave you lot to decide. I expect Leicester to go on and win. They're 1-1 at the moment. I think Wolves will break Southampton down at some point. Chelsea, I still think will get a win against Newcastle. Bournemouth, Norwich, does anybody care? It's just nothing going on. And Villa, Brighton, I think Villa will go on to win against 10 men as well. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. I hope the United stand does a fan meet-up in New York someday, says Alec Ducasse. So do I, mate. I would love to. Score prediction, Chelsea versus Newcastle, says Godtal. I can't remember what I said in my preview on Thursday, but I think I went north of 2-0, so they'll have to go some. Man United will beat Liverpool, says Deepak. I like your confidence. Solskjaer won more points in his first 28-29 games than Klopp. Is Spurs sacked? He's also presiding over the worst ever Premier League start for United. So whatever stat you want to come up, I'll blow you out the water with how shit he is. Is Spurs sacked Ollie after? If Spurs sacked Pochettino after this match, would United sack Ollie tomorrow if United lost? Good question from Jordan. No. Daniel Levy is a businessman, by the way, so he will not want to sack Pochettino because Pochettino, if he'd come to United in the summer, and we hadn't got Ollie, would have cost 40 million to buy him out his contract. So a businessman like Levy will not want to sack somebody who is worth something. Poch out, says John Wayne. Liverpool will go unbeaten in the league all season, says Copite JB. Do not give Arsenal fans a Connery. They will absolutely hate that. They will hate that. Every year, Arsenal fans, from October, they figure out if anybody's unbeaten, and then they monitor their scorelines like a hawk, waiting for them to get beaten so they can go, yes, we're still the only team to have a Premier League trophy wrapped in a Yorkie wrapper. Gold. So, second halves are up and running. Will we get the goals? John Allen says it's an easy win for Liverpool tomorrow. Well, you can join me on the United stand for the watch along. I won't be hiding. I'll be live watching the game. Looking forward to it. I do not expect Manchester United to lose. Son Heung-min has come on for Spurs. Davinson Sanchez has gone off. I'd forgot they even have Davinson Sanchez. Has he been injured? He's a good player. He's very, 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 very good on FIFA. Very good on FIFA. Costs a lot of money as well. LFC Matt says it's my birthday next Sunday, so hopefully we can beat Spurs. Well, happy birthday for then, Matt. I'm sure you will. I mean, Spurs, I'd fancy you to beat them at home. But at Anfield, bloody hell, they'll get annihilated. Please subscribe if you're new. We're on that road to 100k. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, and please share it if you have already subscribed. I think Spurs will get something out of this game. I'm not going to say they're going to go on and win it, but I can see Spurs getting a point now. I think that penalty decision has destroyed them. It really has. Celtic are 4-0 up, says the Dugout Football Channel. Home to Ross County. And Ryan Stevens says it was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Ryan. Score predictions for Sheffield United versus Arsenal, says Epic Pele. I think Arsenal will win that, yeah. I think Sheffield United will try and get a result there, and I think that will suit Arsenal. Son's too good for Wolves, for Spurs, says Paul Whitson. I don't know why. Why they're not starting him? Why they're not starting him? Love you a lot, Mark. Help me through tough times, says Rico _. Yeah, if anybody has any issues with sort of depression or bad days or whatever like that, make sure you do go and give Going for Goldbridge a watch. It's on my channel, Mark Goldbridge. I had a bad week this week, so I spoke about it, and the stigma and the embarrassment and the reluctance to want to talk about it. It was quite a difficult video to do, but a lot of people have said it resonates with them. So make sure you go and give it a watch if you are like that. Mark Goldbridge is the channel. It's the latest upload. Rohith says it's his birthday today. Happy birthday. Who actually believes it's his birthday? And people are now saying it's their birthday, so they get a shout out. So yeah. Zay Mayasi, Mark, Lacazette and Aubameyang will score more goals together than the whole of United this season. Interesting stat. Son is on finally, says Elvin Blocks. Hope you're well, says Ezra. I'm alright, thanks mate, thank you. I'm going to be watching this, and then at 5 o'clock straight down the pub for a meal and some beer, and then 8 o'clock United stand. And then a movie after that. So a nice Saturday night. And then tomorrow, big day, isn't it? I don't know why I'm not nervous about tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I will be tomorrow, but I'm not. I'm just like, whatever, let's get it on. I don't expect to lose. I think it'll be a draw. Have you seen Zlatan's comments on Lukaku, says Rudy Cox? No. Fire Up says it's his wedding anniversary. Oh, unlucky. Just have a drink and forget about it. I'm joking. You might be married to someone he really likes. Some people aren't. Statistically, 30%. It's my birthday next year, says Tommy Darko. Let's get a Zamiasi pay for my dinner in the chat, says Dante Gray. I'm starving now, I am starving. And I'll tell you what, I found these things on... the wife made a mistake the other day because she does the shopping to get delivered. It always gets delivered on a Thursday afternoon or a Friday afternoon if I'm working from home. And I said, I want to make. We've got a bread maker in the garage that's been in there for ages, and I wanted to make some bread. So I looked at the ingredients, and you need like wholemeal flour, etc., etc. And she said, well, just log on to the iPad and just add some bits. So we watched them on the telly. Then she went to sleep, like she always does. And I went on the iPad, and I just went to add a couple of bits. But it's a bit like when I used to get the Argus catalogue when I was a kid, and my grandparents would say, pick something out for Christmas, and you'd spend the next hour there with a notepad and pen ticking stuff off, and you get a top 10, and then you'd go 1 against 1, you're out. So Spurs. Son's just hit the bar. He's hit the bar. Ed Blue Whale says, it's my hamster's graduation day today. Love you. Thank you, mate. Son's hit the bar. Michael Dunn's just confirmed it as well. I've just heard it in my ear. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so it's like Christmas for me. I'm there on her account, on the iPad, Tesco shopping. I get my flour and bread, but then I'm like, what else can I get myself? So I get myself a nice bottle of red wine because she's paying for it. It's on her account. So and then I was looking at snacks. Delafou. Oh, it's come to nothing. If I get the United Stand t-shirt, am I allowed to have it on during sex? Says Maris Kevernman. Well, is that because the person you're going to have sex with wants to pretend it's me? So you're going to wear a United Stand t-shirt? So, anyway, I'm making a long story of this. Watford should have scored Scott Martin. Son's hit the bar. It's end to end. It's that old saying. That's what she said. Anyway, I had free reign on the Tesco shop. She's asleep next to me. I'm ordering all sorts of stuff. Twiglets, nuts, my favourite crunchy nut cornflakes, everything. And I came across this thing. Not literally. Disgusting. Not to come across the bloody iPad in bed. I bet plenty of you have. Vulgar. Son's ripping it up at the moment. There's going to be goals. Anyway, I found these things. It took me ages to get here. Sweet and sour Jacob's crackers bits. So like a cracker's quite big. They're little like biscuits, sweet and sour, in a tub. And they're so Moorish. They're absolutely lovely. I wish I could go and get them to show you. They're brilliant. Sponsor me so you can send me loads for Christmas. Twiglets are disgusting, says I Am Sax. You know why they're disgusting? Because they're Marmite. They actually have got Marmite on them. So if you don't like Marmite, you don't like Twiglets. If you do like Marmite, you like Twiglets. Fire Up says he came across his MacBook. That probably doesn't work anymore. And Tyler says, what have I... Good time to tune in. He says, what have I just tuned into? Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you smash a like. And make sure you share the video. Want to smell my stinky wet toes? They reek, says Pure Gaming. It's going silly now. It's gone silly now. Thanks for the contribution, Zane Massey. I don't know what these things are. If you're in the live comments, what Zane's just done there, I don't think you can do it on the United Stand. It's weird. I don't even know. I think they're called stickers, and they're really good. But I don't know why people can do them on here, but they can't do them on the United Stand. It's really weird because I think they look pretty cool. But I don't even know how you do them. I don't know how you do them. Oh, super sticker. There we go. So if you click the $sign at the bottom, you can do a super chat or a super sticker. But on the United Stand, I don't think you can do them. Anyway. Richard Weaver's got... Comment of the day here from Richard Weaver. Forget the Brexit decision. Richard Weaver says, my missus hates Marmite, but loves Twiglets. I'm forever baffled by it. She's mad. She's crazy, Richard, because they've got Marmite on them. It's official. T-Mills just tuned in. We're having a good one, T-Mills. We're having a good one. I like this. I might do this more often. 3 o'clock. Watch along. I think. What are you thinking, everyone? If you think we should do more of these, the 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, that's football watch along, where we just keep an eye on loads of games and talk about stuff. Fitness Unscripted Sharath has just done a sticker as well. Thank you, mate. I don't know why we can't do it on the United Stand. I'm going to look into that. Stickers. Arvin You're a cheeky get. He says, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I feel Sam Allardyce would be a good manager for United at this moment in time. I'll tell you what, Arvin, you know when you were shit for 30 years and you didn't win a Premier League title, would you ever have had Sam Allardyce as your manager? No, you wouldn't. So do one with your sarcasm. And apparently Villa have just missed a sitter. Hourihane, who had a goal disallowed, actually, has now missed it. Yeah, Michael Dunn says the chat isn't toxic, which is, hey, everybody's welcome on here. I think some people think because I'm a United fan and because I do the United stand, that's football. Everybody's welcome on here. That's always been the mantra of it. And in a moment, we'll be talking about... I always do Champions League watch-alongs. I've always done those. It's only this season that we've started doing a Premier League game every week. So we always do a Premier League watch-along every week. But we've always done Champions League. So we need to have a look at what Champions League game we're going to do this week. Wolves are losing. Danny Ings has scored. 2 goals disallowed for Wolves. One was a handball. One was offside. And now Southampton have scored, which I think is significant in relation to the table. Manchester United are in 16th place. Wow. And we'd actually be level with Newcastle on points, who are 3rd from bottom. Unbelievable. I've got to tweet that. You've got to tweet that out just to wind up the Ollie Inners. United currently 16th. Wow. And it's 8 games now as well. It's not like, we're in the bottom 3 after 2 games. It's 8 games. It does matter. Chelsea have just hit the woodwork as well. I tell you what, from a long-term point for Manchester United, Norwich have got no fit centre-backs. Godfrey's just gone off, and they've got no fit centre-backs. Do you fancy England winning the Rugby World Cup, Mark? I mean, it's going to be hard going past the All Blacks. Also, do you prefer League or Union? That's from Genwell Belandres. I watched the rugby this morning. I thoroughly enjoyed England versus Australia. I thought it was a good game. New Zealand obliterated Ireland, and I just can't see England getting anything against it. They're too good, New Zealand. They're too good. So I don't think England will beat them. Steve Wynyard says, when did you become Ollie out? I'm not. But what I mean is, there are people out there that are passionately Ollie in, and they're idiots. I'm Ollie in, but I'm like, it could go wrong. Zayn Miasi's on a mad one again. Massive contribution. Come on, Watford, smash Spurs. Thanks for the contribution, Zayn. I think it's a little bit too much, but appreciated. And it would be funny if Watford now score and that statement is ridiculed by everybody. Son is Spurs' best player, should always start, says Stephen Dowd. Does anybody know why Son didn't start? Wales are number 1 in the world, says Tello Turner. I mean, do you think Wales will probably get to the final? Because I think Wales will beat France and they'll beat South Africa. But could Wales beat New Zealand? I'd love Wales to win the World Cup if England aren't going to win it. I wanted Ireland to beat New Zealand, and if they'd beaten England in the semi-final, I'd want Ireland to win it as well. I'd love one of the 6 nations to win the World Cup. I've really enjoyed today, by the way. I've had a very, very hard week, and today has just been really relaxing, really, really enjoyable, really good conversation. So, look, you may think you sat there on your phone, laptop, iPad, you may be naked, whatever, I don't know. But you all contribute to it. So thanks everyone who's tuned in. Really, really enjoyed the show today. Thanks for the guy says, have you made a grand of Zane's contributions? I don't know. I don't count them up, to be honest with you. I can't control who makes contributions. I appreciate people who do. A lot of work goes into this channel, and a lot of good work is going on with this channel and with the United Stand at the moment, which we're going to be announcing very soon in relation to some charity stuff. So it's appreciated. Flynn Zazer says, I think Zane is Mark. Yeah, we're just regurgitating our money, making ourselves look rich. Well, I mean, we've had 15 minutes, so there's only half an hour to go. Tom Hazelwood, thanks for answering my question, Mark. I won't go on a cruise anytime soon. Love the show and enjoying this one. Yeah, make sure you check out Going for Goldbridge on the Mark Goldbridge channel. Tom Hazelwood's biggest fear. We could do this live now as well while we're listening to the football. Rachel Harrop says she's dreading tomorrow. Going to be rugby scores and Ollie's head will be gone. Rachel, sleep well tonight. Think of me, but not in that way. I'm married. I mean, think of what I'm about to say. I confidently would say that United won't lose tomorrow. I'm very confident. I said it about Arsenal. Remember, everybody said Arsenal are going to come to Old Trafford and beat us. And I said all along, it's United-Arsenal at Old Trafford. United will be up for it. They won't get beat. And we didn't get beat. And I feel the same. I feel exactly the same about... actually, I'm just going to have to do a little bit of back stretching here. I feel exactly the same about the game tomorrow. I mean, look, Liverpool went to Bramall Lane and needed a lucky goal to get a win. Liverpool away from home this season have not really battered teams. They've not been that convincing. So I think that United will get a point tomorrow. So you sleep well, Rachel, and everybody else. Sleep well, for tomorrow we prosper with a draw at Old Trafford. Sleep well, Rachel Harrop, for tomorrow we will get a point at Old Trafford. Sleep well, Rachel Harrop. Have a nice steak tea, watch a film, maybe Sex in the City box set, and sleep well, because tomorrow we will get a draw at Old Trafford, and we will not be humiliated by Scousers. Sleep well. Penalty for Wolves is coming in. I mean, no goals at Chelsea and Newcastle yet. Still a draw between Leicester and Burnley. Still Watford 1, Spurs 0. Still... Well, it's not. It's Villa 1-1. Bournemouth and Norwich, we've not even heard anything about it. And Jimenez looks like he's finally got a goal for Wolves. It's looking like it's 1-1. I just want to check the Chelsea-Newcastle game here, actually, because statistically, 71% possession for Chelsea. 29% possession for Spurs, obviously. Newcastle. Newcastle have not had a shot on target. It is really a backs to the wall job. It really is. Or a bums to the wall job, whatever you want to say. And before anybody says that's homophobic, what I'm saying is it's back against the wall, isn't it? And what's at the bottom of your back? Your arse. So you can say bums to the wall. Because they're basically just trying not to concede. LFC winning but not being great is probably scarier, says Sonny S. Paul DeLuca says, "Hey Mark, how do you think modern day City would do against United's '99 team? United would win. I don't even know why I'm hesitating on that. United would win because you'd have the best leader on the pitch in Roy Keane. You'd have the best defence on the team in our defence. Best goalkeeper with our goalkeeper. We would, it's the best. The '99 United team is the best team in the Premier League history. It's not even up for debate. So Man City don't get to be that because they've won 2 titles in a row. Like United won 3 titles in a row, and the team that won the title in 2001, are they better than '99? No. So no, they're nowhere near. Mark, I'm off as I have to save money for the date tonight. Have a good show. Enjoy it. I'm sure she's going to get wined and dined. Enjoy it. To be fair, your bum does hit the wall before your back, says Tommy Darko. It depends how big your arse is, really. Lamella's coming on for Spurs. We've got 95,700. We're getting closer to 96,000. Please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Make sure you share the video if you have. Leeds are winning 1-0, says Dag Holland. Why is Dele Alli on the pitch? He's absolutely shit. So that was a penalty for Wolves, by the way. I'm just going to tweet something about Dele Alli. I think some people forget that this is an entertainment industry. Bayern are drawing with Augsburg, says Philip Thomas. I don't know whether that's full time yet. Decore's in. Ooh. Seamus Conroy says Dele Alli is worse than Lingard. I mean, let's just have a quick look at this game, actually, because I think a lot of people aren't aware of this. Spurs and Watford. Spurs have had nearly 70% possession, but both teams have only had one shot on goal, of which Watford scored their chance. So Spurs certainly the team on top, but Lucas Moura's gone off for Lamela. I mean, Lucas Moura, another player that's very good on FIFA, taken off. What's your problem with FIFA 20, Poch? You've subbed Sanchez and you've subbed Moura. I've got Lucas Moura. Cancelo looks like Kyle Walker's been left out, says King Cairo. So we're starting to see the end of Kyle Walker as the right back, as Cancelo. Will he take his chance? Can Leicester get a winner against Burnley? I mean, in many ways, Leicester 1, Burnley 1 is traditionally a scoreline that you would predict. But if this is a Leicester team that wants to get top 4, then this is a sort of game that Leicester have got to win. It's simple as that, people. Most players are rusty after the international break, says D'Amelio Williams. Yeah, well, Dele Alli's not rusty, is he? He doesn't get picked. He's shit. I'm just messaging Draughty. Coolio's also saying Sir Alex Ferguson at Carrington today. I'll bring it up on the United Stand at 8 o'clock. I mean, realistically, he's there to be a cheerleader, isn't he? Because he wants Ollie to do well. Spurs need a goal, really, don't they? What, we got 20, 25 minutes left. If Spurs want to win this game. Mark, who is better, Martial or Lacazette? Don't be biased, please. Martial. Kurgan Plop says that Pogba will be back tomorrow. Ollie's been trying his mind games again, but Klopp's not that fussed. There will be no dabbing. I mean, to be fair to you, I don't think Klopp would be. I mean, why would you do mind games when we're shit? That's what I would say. There is no point in doing it. Murd Havid says, any tips for OCD? If you're talking about obsessive compulsive disorder, I used to have something when I was younger. I'll do this on Going for Goldbridge actually one day. I used to do something when I was older where I used to have to do everything 3 times. I don't know what I thought was going to happen if I didn't do it 3 times, but it was OCD. What you need to do is sort of train yourself to realise that it's okay not to do it. Harry Kane's away. Nothing comes of it. Would you rather 30 years of never winning the Premier League or Kevin Johnson? I think you're having a dig at Liverpool fans there. What Premier manager would win a Royal Rumble, says Sonny S. Well, if Sam Allardyce was still a manager, he'd win a Royal Rumble. Who's the hardest manager in the Premier League at the moment? I don't know. They're all a bunch of pussies, really, aren't they, when you think about it? I mean, not that I'm Mr. Muscle, but I can't really think of a manager that makes me think, oh, they're hard. You know, Pochettino, Klopp, Pep, Ollie, Emery, Lampard. They're all a bit average. What Premier... Yeah, we've done that one. Watford need to put this game away, says Michael Dunn. Kevin Johnson says, dropping 2 divisions and back to top in 10 years. I'd rather drop 2 divisions and get back in 10 years than not go 30 years without a title, yeah. Steve Bruce is quite a big bloke, yes, Danish, yeah. And Deitch, he's got a scary voice, hasn't he? But you give Deitch a packet of lockets and he's a mouse. Poch to be sacked today, says Card Tricker Jeffrey 12. I don't know. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's just see what happens in the next 10. I think Chelsea have scored. Callum Adams says, I'm a Goldbridge fan and a Spurs fan. Thanks. Who do you think... You didn't say the Goldbridge bit. Who do you think is Spurs' worst player? I think that, to me, Dele Alli has become your Jesse Lingard that he is for United. A player that... Spurs are making a sub now. Ndombele is coming on. And Winks is off. So Dele Alli stays on again. But yeah, it's I think Dele Alli's your worst player. I do, yeah. Come on, you Blues. Really good show, fella, says Kevin Johnson. Thank you, pal. So Chelsea have broken down the Newcastle rear guard, and it is now 1-0 Chelsea against Newcastle. So and Leicester are winning 2-1 as well. Yuri Tillemans has scored. Significant result for... I don't know why I want Leicester to win. I think Leicester are this year's Spurs for me. Because I always quite liked Spurs, but they're shit now. You know you have a team that's like a team that just are inoffensive. And I do feel that way about Leicester. So I'm glad that they're winning. But Chelsea, yeah, good result for them. Very good result for them if they can hold out, which I think they will. I mean, Newcastle have done next to nothing. I've actually just been... the reason I've gone quiet is I've actually just been sent a picture of Sir Alex Ferguson at Carrington today with Carrick and Ollie. So, very, very clever from Manchester United. I think they get a lot wrong around their media, but that's very, very clever because that will resonate with Manchester United fans. That will resonate with United fans. So there we go. Come on, I'm trying to get my live comment. I always go, if I've gone quiet, it's because my live comments have gone. Right. Yeah, Tielemans scored for Leicester, so it's 2-1 there. Fernandinho and Rodri are centre-backs today. This is the Dugout Football Channel. Yeah, Aguero's on the bench as well. Yeah, I agree with you and Vickers. There's no way that Sir Alex Ferguson was there to take training or anything like that. It would have been there for morale purposes. But what I'm saying is, from a fan perspective point of view, everybody who's pissed off with the players and Ollie and Woodward, you see Sir Alex Ferguson there stood with Ollie at training, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's Sir Alex, positivity." Just give some positivity in a negative situation. So very clever from United to do that. 1989. Why wouldn't I have Pochettino? Why would you have Pochettino? I think he's a real concern. So we've got about 20 minutes left. Well, less than that in some instances. Probably about 15 minutes left. Would Pochettino get the sack today? I want to talk about that today in a moment. Spurs have got to get something today. Seriously, they've got to get something today. I'm not even joking on this. They've got Liverpool away next week and then Everton away after that. They won't be winning the next two games if they don't win today. But how significant is that penalty going to be now that was not given for Watford? We've had a super chat come in from Sharath Kamath Fitness and Scripted. Imagine this Leicester team with Mahrez and Kante. They would easily get into the top four. What's happening to Tottenham, says Random Trends. So look, yeah. Spurs have got a corner at the moment. Spurs have already lost at home to Newcastle, exactly 19-8. I mean, look, you look at Spurs this season. They've lost to Leicester away, which I suppose, look, anyone can lose to Leicester at the moment. They're a good team. They nearly got a point at Anfield. But they've lost at home to Newcastle. They're losing at home to Watford. They lost away to Brighton. You know, this is not a good season for Spurs. The question I would say is, would or should Pochettino be sacked if they lose today? If you take into consideration that they were Champions League finalists in May, and that if he'd gone to Real Madrid or United in the summer, then they would have had to pay 40 million to get him out of his contract. To me, it's abundantly clear that Pochettino will not be leaving Spurs anytime soon, despite the fact that you could say his form is sackable. But Daniel Levy is a businessman. There is a value attached to Pochettino. He's very recently become a manager that's probably should be sacked, maybe could be sacked. But Levy won't want to do that, because to sack him, you've got to pay him off. So rather than pocketing 40 million for a manager that everyone wants, you sack him and you've got to pay him money to go. So Levy will not want to do that. So I think Pochettino, if you're a Spurs fan and you want Spurs to get rid of Pochettino, it's not going to happen, because you're run by a businessman who just won't make that sort of a decision. Will things turn around at Spurs? And Fitness and Scripted Sharath Kamath says Pulisic is looking good for Chelsea. I think the way that Lampard's blooded him in gradually has been very, very good. But will Pochettino turn things around at Spurs? I don't think so. Not to the extent of Spurs fans what they want. I mean, look, Spurs aren't going to keep losing every week, but they've got... It's 2-2. Chris Wood scored for Leicester. Bloody hell. That man again. Leicester. Well, that's harsh. Well, it's not harsh. It's football. Final 10 minutes then. 2-2 between Leicester and Burnley. But what I was saying about Pochettino is that then he ain't going to turn this around to the extent that Spurs fans want, which is challenging for titles. He might be able, their next two games are Liverpool away in the Premier League and then Everton away in the Premier League, sandwiched with Red Star Belgrade in the Champions League. But they're just not performing as a squad. Something's gone very, very wrong there. So we will see what happens. There is talk that Burnley's goal has been disallowed. Forget about it if it has. VAR. But so no, in short, I do not think Pochettino is going to get sacked, because Levy will not want to pay somebody off millions of pounds who he could have got millions of pounds for in the summer if they'd gone to Real Madrid or United. But do I think things are going to get better for Spurs in the long term? No. I think they've run their course. I think that Pochettino has run his course at Spurs, and I think they've got too many players that have been there for too long. And as I said, I've tweeted it. How does Dele Alli get picked for Spurs? He's shit. He's absolutely shit. A lot of people saying it's no goal for Burnley. My update was that it was a goal, but I'm sure it's going to get updated very, very soon. VAR is going to decide a title soon, says Sierra King. But the thing about VAR is, if it's offside and VAR is saying it's offside, that's fine. But we've had 3 today. We've had 2 for Wolves. No, we've had 4 now. We've had 2 for Wolves, 1 for Villa, 1 for Burnley. That's 4 goals. And we've only had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 50% of the goals have been cancelled out. Well, no, they haven't, because 9 are still. So 30% really. But this goes back to what I was saying at half time. If your team scores a goal now, there's a 30% chance it's going to get disallowed. So do you go all in, or do you keep some back? I mean, personally, I'll still always go in if we score. Yeah, I'm going to go in, but there's a 30% chance VAR is going to pull it out. Why did Lo Celso go to Spurs when he doesn't play? Says Ewan Vickers. I don't know. He's not even on the bench. Mark, where do you buy your clothes? I'm in Manchester next week, says Tiny94. I don't buy them from Manchester. John Lewis, this is Hugo Boss. Treated myself with some birthday money. Capitano 007 says, Mark, you always put a smile on my face. That's music to my ears. I can't quite believe that. And I don't shop at TK Maxx, Kojak's, Bullsack. But if you do work in an office, there's nothing wrong with TK Maxx. You can get some nice Yves Saint Laurent shirts. Why spend decent money to go to work? That was always my motto. But don't go to work in a Tesco shirt. Biggie Small says Harry Kane is a B-Tech Michu. Remember Michu at Swansea? He was quite good. I always used to have him in Fantasy Premier League. You always put a smile on my face, Mark, says Capitano 00. Thank you very much for the contribution. Lo Celso is injured, says Alex O'Brien. We don't have long left in this game. Around 10 minutes. Epic Challenge Bros says, I hope Ollie gets the sack and then we get Pochettino who gets the sack as well. Bashta says he's envious of Chelsea. Chelsea at the moment would be up into 4th place with Leicester, who would be in 3rd if Leicester can hang on. Burnley will feel hard done by. And Zahil Shetty says, you can do stickers here because it's a gaming channel. I didn't even know it was a gaming channel, to be honest. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're on that road to 100k. I really want to get there before Christmas. Can we do it? Subscribe, bottom right hand corner. If you have subscribed, please share the video, which you can do underneath. Really appreciate it. I've really enjoyed the show today. We did a 3 o'clock one 2 weeks ago. I've never done 3 o'clock shows before, but there's so much going on and so much chat going on and so much going on the games. I think it works really well, so maybe we can do it more often. I did say actually I was going to check what games we'd do as a watch along in the week. Well, I'll suggest what we'll do in the week. It's not down to me totally. So we always do Champions League watch alongs. Let's have a look at what games we got. Why have you took me to that page? Probably because I clicked it. So scores Tuesday. No, not Tuesday the bloody 15th. Tuesday the 22nd. Spurs are playing Red Star Belgrade, boring. Man City are playing Atalanta, boring. Atletico Madrid are playing Bayer Leverkusen, boring. Juventus Moscow, boring. Galatasaray Real Madrid, boring. Club Brugge, boring. They're all boring on Tuesday. Wednesday, Ajax Chelsea, but it's a 6 o'clock game. Oh, that's a pain. Genk Liverpool, boring. Inter Milan Dortmund. They're quite boring games in the Champions League this week. That's disappointing. When are Barcelona playing then? Have Barcelona had their game cancelled? No, they're playing Slavia Prague. God. They're right boring games. Chelsea Ajax, but it's 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. I can't do that time. Fitness and Scripted Sharath Kamal says that Chelsea team is full of flair. When they move with the ball, it looks so nice. It's like they are skating. He has got them set up ridiculously well. Chris the Beast says, can you keep streaming for another hour? No, because I'm going to the pub. I'm going down pub to have a Saturday night dinner. 8 o'clock United stand. You can join me then, though. I will be live then. This is ridiculous from Spurs' point of view, though, if they don't get a result. Absolutely ridiculous. I'll tell you what, fair play to Brighton, though. A man down and they're still holding on for a point. It'd be a very, very good point for them. Yeah, the El Clasico has been rescheduled, Oscar. It was going to be next week. I was going to do that. Sean Finity, VAR is just an attempt to shift responsibility from on-field officials to some nebulous, unaccountable, faceless authority. Timor SG0S00 says, have you heard about the news of Yeovil's FA Cup game being suspended due to racial abuse from Yeovil fans? It's being discussed on BT right now. I wasn't aware of it. If that's what's happened, then it's the right thing. It's the right thing. I think we might have a Spurs goal coming in here. It's a little bit behind in my ear. And it looks like Dele Alli has scored. Zayn Miassi, would you franchise out the United standout like McDonald's? I thought you were going out for your date, Zayn. Go and get ready. God. So Spurs have had the ball in the back of the net, but it looks like it's going to be disallowed. Dele Alli looks like he's scored, but it's going to go to VAR. A lot of people in the live comments are saying no goal, goal. Some people are obviously around the world able to watch 3 o'clock kickoffs ahead of us in the UK, which is ridiculous. But it looks like it's going to be given. It's been given. So it's a goal for Spurs. It's 1-1. So we can change the score, and Spurs have got the goal, and VAR not doing any favours for... It's a goal. It's a goal. Apparently the screen has said no goal. The referee has said a goal. But it is 1-1. Goalkeeping error. But let me change the score for everybody. And as we predicted, VAR becomes the thing we didn't want it to be in this game. So, can anybody get a winner late on in this game? Be bloody sod's law, wouldn't it? Our version of VAR is embarrassing. It doesn't work at all, says Stuart Hall. VAR is good for the future, but they need to fix it, says Ewan Vickers. Well, I've just got to write a tweet about this. So the goal stands for Spurs. It's 1-1. We always get late drama. We had this with the Leicester and Liverpool game. We're now getting it in this game as well. It's still 1-1. I know, don't listen to the live comments. People chucking in fake scores. It always happens towards the end of the game. They think they've got big dicks. They've got little ones. And they think they can be significant by putting a fake score in there. Don't listen to it. Because it's all Spurs at the moment. Get VAR out. Chelsea have won, says LCT. Good win for them. Leicester still hanging on. They're 2-1 up. They did have a goal disallowed, Burnley. VAR again, but they are still leading 2-1. Watford. Bournemouth versus Norwich was a disappointment, says Philip Thomas. Bournemouth versus Norwich, we hardly knew you. We've not even spoken about it. 0-0, absolutely crap game. Good point for Norwich, though. Good point for Norwich. 3 minutes left in this game between Spurs and Watford. Interesting game, very much so. My Twitter account, Paul Gray, is at Mark Goldbridge. Very easy to find me on Twitter, at Mark Goldbridge. Leicester win 2-1. Very big result for them. Thanks for that, Alvin Blocks. 2-1 to Leicester. Big 3 points for them. That puts Leicester a whopping 8 points ahead of United. 8 points ahead of United. I mean, there's an interesting thing there with this VAR. I don't know whether anyone's picked up on this. 1-0 to Watford. Ref doesn't give a penalty. Telly shows it was a penalty. Doesn't get given by VAR. Spurs get an equalizer. Gets reviewed. Referee says a goal, but the screen says no goal. So has the referee overruled what VAR said? VAR said it wasn't a goal and the ref says it is. I don't know. We are 15th, yes, above relegation, says somebody. Yeah, we're 15th because Villa and Brighton have drew, yeah. So, yeah, we could have done with Villa winning, and then I think we would have gone up to 14th. Angie is a hag. Love you, Mark, says Jozza. I presume that's a private joke going on, because I don't know what that's meant to mean. Have I played any more FIFA Ultimate Team, Oscar Davis? Yes, I was saying that earlier on. I've played about 8 games and I've won 7. I'm back in Division 6. I found a rhythm. I've got Marcus Rashford. I got rid of Vardy. Got Rashford in. And it's working for me, so I'm doing all right. But I need to get some better players still. A lot of people giving Lampard a lot of praise, saying, I wish Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played like that. And FIFA career mode has been fixed now. So on Monday I'm starting. You've got to start it again. You can't continue. I'm going to be starting my Manchester United career mode again. And I'm actually going to do it with no transfers. So I'm going to do it with the squad that Ollie's got to make it a little bit more interesting. Because the thing I don't like about transfers is if I go and buy Bruno Fernandes in the summer, etc., every other club then goes and does stupid signings, and it makes it unrealistic. So I'm just going to start it with no transfers, so everyone's got the same squad, and then I'll buy in January. Alvin Blocks. Villa have got a goal in the 90th minute, which puts United up to 14th, I think. I think this will put United up to 14th because Villa have scored. Grealish again. Brighton's rearguard has fallen, and Villa have got a late winner. Apparently, Pico, it has been fixed, yes. Food review on the 8 o'clock show. I'll tell you what I had at 8 o'clock if you want. VAR should be taken out. It's not being used properly, says Isaiah Edwards. What am I thinking about the game tomorrow, Lewis Gibson? I think United will get something tomorrow. I think it'll be a draw, to be honest. I think Spurs are trying to knock on the door to get a late winger. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. Very, very lucky point for Spurs. And the final whistle has gone. So, very lucky point for Spurs. Very lucky. VAR's helped them out. I don't think VAR helped them out with the goal. But I think VAR definitely helped them out in the first half when it should have been a penalty. Can ref overrule VAR, says Robin Lemon? I don't know. But it's a good point for Watford. But they probably should have got all three. For Spurs, it's a good point for them. The interesting thing about Spurs is they've got 12 points. So, they're still 3 points ahead of United. So, as bad as their season's being, it shows you how bad United's is, that they're still 3 points behind a very, very poor Spurs side. But the Villa have got a late goal. It was Matt Targett who scored it for Villa, not Jack Grealish, as some people were reporting. And I can tell you that the way that the Premier League looks tonight, with Manchester City still to play, United have gone up to 14th thanks to that late Villa winner. But Liverpool top with 24, Leicester second with 17, Chelsea third with 17, Man City have got 16, Palace are in 6th. So it's 4th against 6th actually tonight. And Spurs still in 7th place, which is amazing, isn't it? Spurs go up to 7th despite being absolutely shit. But there's a lot of teams on 12 and 11 points. Burnley are on 12, Bournemouth on 12, West Ham on 12, Villa are on 11, Wolves on 11, Everton 10, and then United on 9 points. Just 1 point ahead of the relegation zone because Newcastle are on 8. Norwich still second from bottom with 7. And Watford, you feel for Watford because they should have 2 more points than they've got, but that's football. Pricey, Mark, PSG, Bayern, Man City, Liverpool and Juventus Bayern all finished unbeaten in my game. It was a new save after patch. Teams are strong. Thanks for that, mate. Thanks everyone for watching as well. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And we will be back with a FIFA career mode on here tomorrow. Might start it tomorrow, but probably more likely we'll start on Monday. Also, watch-alongs in the Champions League. Lots of stuff going on the channel. Everybody's welcome. Really enjoyed that. And look, Spurs get away with it, but I don't see Pochettino going anywhere anytime soon either. Tomorrow on the United Stand, we've got the Liverpool-Manchester United game. And also tonight at 8 o'clock on the United Stand, we'll be talking about Klopp mocks Solskjaer, Herrera mocks United, Mandzukic to United, Sir Alex Ferguson at Carrington today, and a lot more. So I'll see you at 8 o'clock on the United Stand if you're interested in that. I'm off down pub. Speak to you in a bit.